The Minnesota Vikings are at the center of some truly intriguing developments. And you're going to want to hear every detail because this could reshape the start of their season in ways fans might not expect. Let's start with what could be the most critical storyline heading into training camp: the health of key offensive players and how that might impact Week 1 against the Chicago Bears. Kevin O'Connell confirmed that Gavin Bartholomew has been placed on the PUP list, which isn't ideal given his role as a depth piece at tight end. But here's where things get interesting: Christian Darrisaw, Will Fries, and Rondale Moore are not on the PUP list. That's massive news, especially considering how crucial Darrisaw is to the offensive line. However, don't get too excited just yet. O'Connell hinted that Darrisaw won't be fully unleashed right away. Expect him to be working off to the side rather than ripping through every drill. It's a clear sign the Vikings are going to play this cautiously, and with good reason. We're talking about a long season, possibly a 20-game run if things go well. So throwing all their chips into the center for a Week 1 divisional clash, even on Monday Night Football, just doesn't seem worth the risk. Will Fries, on the other hand, is ready to roll. Cleared and expected to start against Chicago. Fries is trending in exactly the direction the team needs, and his presence should help stabilize the line. As for Darrisaw, the signing of Justin SKOL suddenly makes even more sense. He was brought in with enough money to rank as one of the higher-paid swing tackles in the league, which now looks like insurance if Darrisaw isn't ready right away. Add Ryan Kelly, Donovan Jackson, and the reliable Brian O'Neill, and this offensive line could still put together a strong performance, even if Darrisaw sits Week 1. But here's where fans should keep their eyes glued to camp updates: Rondale Moore, with Jordan Addison's suspension expected to land somewhere between 1 to 3 games. Moore could play a much bigger role early in the season, and O'Connell seems ready to get creative with him, lining him up in the backfield, using him on Texas routes, maybe even as a hybrid weapon in the run game. This is the kind of offensive wrinkle that could catch defenses completely off guard. And given how this team loves its 2-tight-end sets, imagine Moore adding another dynamic layer to that strategy. Speaking of tight ends, let's talk about Noah Fant, because this is where things get even juicier. Fant was released by the Seattle Seahawks in a surprising move, and with Bartholomew injured, could we see a reunion of one of college football's most dominant tight end duos? Fant and T.J. Hawkinson were a nightmare to defend back at Iowa, and while Fant's production in Seattle wasn't jaw-dropping, 48 receptions, 500 yards, and a single touchdown, he would be a huge step up from relying on a 6th-round rookie coming off a back injury. Pairing him with Hawkinson and Josh Oliver could make this tight end room one of the most versatile in the league. But let's be realistic. Any deal would likely be a cheap, one-year prove-it contract. Still, even for a couple $1 million, that's the kind of depth you want in a long season. Fans should seriously consider whether adding Fant is a move worth making. Would you sign him if you were Kwesi Adofo-Mensah? And just when you think we're done, here comes another twist. Jihad Hadi Ward. Reports surfaced that he was visiting the Vikings, but then Jordan Schultz, who first tweeted it, deleted the post. Was this bad reporting or a deal that fell apart at the last minute? Either way, Ward impressed last year in limited snaps, showing solid pass rush ability, racking up for team QB hits, and even notching a PBU. His run defense grade was poor, but Brian Flores knows how to use specialists to their strengths. Think Ivan Pace's blitzing role, and Ward could be deployed strictly as a situational rusher. The question is, does this front office see the same upside, or did Schultz's deleted tweet mean nothing is happening? It's something we'll need to keep a close eye on. Now, let's talk about a situation that could quietly become a real headache if not handled properly. Josh Metellus and his contract drama. Metellus' deal voids after 2025, and while Kwesi claimed he's had great dialogue with Metellus' agent, Metellus' wife laughed at that on Instagram, literally. She commented with a laughing emoji on a Vikings post aggregating Kwesi's statement, which might be the biggest indicator yet that talks aren't going as smoothly as advertised. Metellus, who can play every position in Flores' defense, is an absolute key piece to this team, but his leverage isn't as strong as he might think. Sitting out or holding in during camp could backfire. Who's signing a safety who missed an entire year next offseason? The Vikings might be using that as leverage, offering something like a 2-year, $20 million extension to keep him happy while manipulating cap hits with void years. But will he take it, or does he want Kembenham level money? Somewhere in the $14 to $15 million per year range. That's the real standoff here. And this is just scratching the surface. of what's happening inside this team right now, there's optimism. Yes, Darrisaw, fries, and more trending positively is huge, but there are also big question marks that could shape how this season starts. Should the Vikings take the risk and rush Darrisaw back for a crucial division game? Should they roll the dice on Noah Fant to beef up the tight end depth? And what about Metellus? Will this situation turn ugly? Or will he be locked in and ready to play his vital role in Flores' system? What do you think, Vikings fans? Should Minnesota make an aggressive move for Fant? Should they give Metellus a bigger payday right now, or wait him out? And are you comfortable holding Darrisaw out week 1 even if it means risking a loss to a division rival? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this could shape the entire narrative of the season. Tell me what you think below. Should the Vikings sign Noah Fant or pass on him? Should Darrisaw play week 1 if he's 80% healthy or wait it out? And what's your take on Metellus contract drama? Comment right now. And here's where things get even more compelling. As we look deeper into the potential ripple effects these moves or lack thereof could have on the Vikings season, let's circle back to Christian Darrisaw because his absence in week 1, while cautious, could tell us a lot about how the coaching staff views the big picture this year. A 17-game grind, plus potential playoff football, means the staff is thinking about January, not just September. Plugging in Justin SKOL might not give Kirk Cousins the same blindside security, but it's a smart, conservative play if Darrisaw isn't 100%. But that's where the debate heats up. Bears, Monday Night Football. A division rival dropping that game could haunt them later when wild card spots or division standings are on the line. So, what's more important, long-term health or sending a statement early? This decision could split the fan base right down the middle. Then there's Rondale Moore, who could quietly become the X factor in the first 3 weeks. With Addison's suspension looming, Moore's speed and versatility might be exactly what the offense needs to stay explosive. Imagine Kevin O'Connell lining him up in motion, taking jet sweeps, or running those quick-hit Texas routes out of the backfield. Moore might not be the star, but if he can step in and generate chunk plays, it could buy Addison valuable time to get back without the offense missing a beat. But the real drama brewing is still Josh Metellus. His wife's laughing emoji wasn't just a random comment, it felt like a shot across the bow. A subtle way of saying, we're not happy. Metellus is Flores' Swiss Army knife, playing every defensive position, and his versatility is rare. But will he be as dominant in another system if he decides to test free agency? That's the leverage Minnesota seems to be using, offering reasonable money but nothing near what Kembenham secured. This is a standoff worth monitoring closely, because if Metellus feels disrespected, it could sour the locker room vibe. Finally, the Noah Fant question looms. Signing him on a cheap, 1-year deal could be the smartest low-risk move Kwesi makes all offseason. Bartholomew's back injury is concerning, and if Hockenson were to miss time, the drop-off would be huge without another proven pass-catching tight end. Fant isn't elite, but he's reliable, and pairing him with Hockenson and Oliver could make this offense even harder to defend. Now it's your turn. Vikings fans, should Kwesi pull the trigger on Fant? Should the team risk Darrisaw in week 1 or play it safe? And how should they handle Metellus? Pay him big or hold their ground? Drop your answers in the comments, smash that like. And if you want every update first, hit that subscribe button and join the conversation. SKOL Vikes.